Jim Penna, by the way, joining us in the studio.
Yeah.
Mike Vax is on the phone. He's a legendary jazz trumpeter, a lead and solo artist performing on trumpets, cornets, and flugelhorns. I always get that one wrong, Robin. He played lead and solo trumpet with the Stan Kenton Orchestra, the Clark Terry Big Bad Band, and the United States Navy Show Band. He toured in Europe, Scandinavia, South America, Japan, the United States. He's the founder and chairman of the Friends of Big Band Jazz. He's the leader of the Stan Kenton Alumni Band, which is what's coming to Ocala on Monday at the Riley Arts Center. That's at 7:30, and tickets are as low as $8. Not a bad idea to go check in something that is awesome. He's also a clinician, by the way, for you musicians out there. I don't think he's doing that this visit, though, from what Jim tells me. Mike Vax, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hello, it's great to be on the show.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Jacksonville right now.
Are you on a tour?
Oh yeah. The tour actually started yesterday. It started for me the day before. I flew into Jacksonville, and yesterday I was doing workshops at the University of North Florida all day. The rest of the band flew in yesterday to Orlando, and then got the bus and came up here to Jacksonville. And today we're having rehearsals and workshops for the kids all afternoon and the evening, and then tomorrow we do more workshops, and then tomorrow night we do our first concert of the tour at University of North Florida.
Oh, wow. How challenging is it to do new music in a style that's already been established? Is that hard to do?
Not at all, because everybody that's writing knows the music inside and out.
Okay.
So it's actually easy, and of course a bunch of the guys, Kim Richmond, Dale DeVoe, Joe O'Kay, all wrote music for Stan when he was alive.
Tell me, teach us a little bit about Stan Kenton? Who was he? When did he die? How old was he when he died? He was pretty young, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was only 68. He died in 1979.
Oh my gosh! And were you you were in the band at that time?
No, I was in the band in the early 70s.
Oh, okay.
So I was in the band when he first formed his own record label, Creative World, and started a whole new phase of his life after leaving Capitol Records. And of course, he was really one of the fathers of jazz education, way back in the all the way back in the 50s. And in fact, I'm a product. I went to the second Stan Kenton summer camp in 1960, so I was a student at that camp, and so his influence has been in my life, all of my adult life, and of course in the 70s we were playing, most of our concerts were in schools, and we would do an afternoon workshop in all of the schools.
Oh wow. Did the genre itself, did the big band genre suffer because of what was popular in on radio in those years?
It's been suffering from then on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're one of the very last road bands. We're one of the very last bands that actually gets on a bus and tours. The Glenn Miller Band still does it quite a bit. Tommy Dorsey Band's starting to do more, with Terry Myers, who lives here in Florida, leading it. And my friend Fred Radke leads the Harry James Band, and they do a little bit of stuff on the road. But we're one of the last bands, other than the Miller Band, that actually does bus tours.
Do you know what? I'm not an expert on this, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a renaissance because of movies like La La Land. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're starting to incorporate big band style again.
Yeah, but it ain't going to happen.
You don't think so?
I'm sad. You know how much it costs to put a band on the road these days?
No, but you do.
Yeah.
That's right. And people think I'm crazy to even try to do this, but it's just something that's, I think, Stan ingrained in me, that we've got to try to keep it going, to keep the music alive and keep young people interested in the music. I don't know. I went and saw La La Land, and I really enjoyed it. But how many high school kids are going to go see that?
But it seems like
I don't know.
But it seems like the schools themselves are keeping the jazz band alive, because I know my nephew is a senior in high school in Fleming Island, just outside of Jacksonville, and he tried out for their jazz band. He made it. We had an event we went to on Friday where the college college right here in our area, they have a jazz band. They came out and played at the event, and they seem to be well received.
Well, it's an interesting thing, and I'm one of the last people to be negative about it, or I wouldn't be putting all my time and my money and everything else into it. But the reality of it is, yes, there are jazz bands in something like 30,000 schools in this country. 90% of them, it might as well be part of the athletic department, because the only reason the kids are in it is to win trophies. And the way it's being taught by rote, so that they go over and over the same charts, and they play the same charts all year long, so they can go to contests and win trophies.
Oh.
They don't know how to sight read. They don't study jazz improvisation. The teachers don't really get them to listen to the music like our teachers did many years ago. They don't go to hear live performances. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, but if I have to look at the reality of the situation, and as I say, we try to do everything we can to help keep it going and change what I see as a reality. But the reality is that there's never going to be a renaissance of the genre.
Mike, can you talk a little bit?
Go ahead.
I'm just curious I would love to hear what you have to say about that improvisation you just referenced. When I watch like a military band, you were in the U.S. Navy band, for example. I'm often wondering if those musicians are held like close to the vest. Do they have to play it note for note, or are they given license to improvise a little bit? And kind of a secondary question, in the band that you're in, do you and the other musicians sometimes veer from the charts as well?
Well, if you're playing jazz, you have to.
Including in the Navy band too?
Oh, of course. If you're talking about like the Airmen of Note, or the Navy Commodores, or the Jazz Ambassadors, or the Army Blues, those are some of the best big bands in history. And you can't have a big band without improvisation.
Well, that's awesome.
Even the old dance bands in the 30s had space for improvisation, not as much as the jazz bands, but yeah, anytime there's solo space, it's improvised. In fact, if I hear somebody in my band that's starting to sort of get shall we say lazy and sort of play the same solo each time, I'll get on them and say, no. That's you can improvise. You're going to play something different every night, because that improvisation is one of the main essences of jazz music.
That takes a little bit of maturity, though, right? A young musician might not be as easily convinced to do that, right? It's a little scary, I would think.
Well, it's interesting. My wife was a very successful middle school band director for 33 years. In her jazz band, every kid in the band soloed. Every kid in her band improvised.
Good for her. That was because of her, though.
And that's right, because she encouraged them to do it. She didn't. There wasn't time to have an actual improv class in her school, but during the band period, she would, help them out a little bit and say, "You just play whatever you feel," and she'd get them so that they weren't nervous about it. And by the second semester of the school year, every kid is clamoring to play a solo in every tune, because once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. Yeah, maybe in the beginning it's a little scary, but once you get the hang of it, and you realize that what we tell the kids, there are no wrong notes in jazz. The joke is, some notes.
There are, but there aren't. There are, but there aren't.
Some notes sound better than others, but there's no wrong notes when you're improvising. When they understand that, and they get up and try, it becomes just complete fun for them.
That's funny.
And then yes, over the years, as you do it, you perfect it to where the great soloists, of course, what they play if it's written down, it's like an unbelievable composition, but they're making it up in their head as they go along.
I bet I could change your mind, though. I bet if I picked up a trumpet and tried to improvise, I bet you'd say, you know what, Larry, there are some bad notes.
Well, no, you know what? I didn't say bad notes. I said wrong notes.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you'd say, Larry, then maybe there are some wrong notes. There are some wrong notes. One of your biggest...
Plays accordion.
Yeah, I play the accordion. Jim Penn is in the studio. Jim is he's the one responsible for you coming to Ocala.
Oh, that's right. He's a good friend. He's been a fan and one of those people that sort of puts his money where his mouth is and tries to help what we're doing.
Oh, Jim does. He's very, very astute at that.
So, and the mic is open, Jim, if you want to say something. Earlier, I heard you saying something. I didn't.
Flew out to California to see the Cuban Fire out in Pasadena there, and you blew the roof off the place.
Yeah, that music is really hard.
Yeah.
So if we're familiar with your CDs and we know every note and every nuance on the recording, then we go see you live. We hear it performed slightly differently, don't we?
Well, the solo space, the written part is going to be pretty much the same every night. That's part of the consistency of the sound of the band. But when it comes to the open solo space, then you're going to hear different stuff every night because the guys in the band are such great jazz players and so creative,
So the same thing would be true if I went to see you in Jacksonville, and then if I saw you here in Ocala. Just in a few nights, you're going to have something different, right?
Well, again, it's only in the solo space.
Right.
Yeah.
So the arrangement is going to sound the same pretty much every night.
Yeah, if you looked at the sheet music, at the solo space, it would just say free blowing. There's no notes on the page.
Is that right?
No, there are chords on the page. There are chords written.
Yeah.
Okay, so you follow.
The soloist knows the chord structure and the form of the tune, from seeing that. But there's no actual notes written in the solos. There are some solos where in ballads and stuff where it might be stick close to the melody, and there are some tunes, especially like from the old big band era. If you think of a good example is "In the Mood" with Glenn Miller. Well,
right.
The saxophone solos and the trumpet solo became pretty much part of that arrangement, so that when it's performed, those solos are performed almost note for note.
Oh, I
because
see.
they've become so popular. Also, like Bobby Hackett's trumpet solo in Glenn Miller's "String of Pearls." That solo, almost every time people play that solo note for note because it became part of the arrangement.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
but in most cases, no. Most cases, it's improvised.
And the music is so universal, and we find out what a small world it is. I have a friend, Harry Kozlowski, that I graduated with from high school, and he's a marvelous trombonist. I found out he played with you, and he wanted me to send you his best, but also to ask you about Dennis Noday.
Well, Dennis has been in my band since the beginning, and of course, Dennis and I were in the trumpet section when Stan was alive together. So Dennis and I have actually been playing together now for, let me think here, 48 years.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
And Dennis and I are best friends, and so we've and the cruise that Harry and I did together, on that cruise it was Dennis's band.
Oh my!
And I was just playing the jazz chair in the section.
Oh wow!
But on that cruise that we did that Harry was playing on, Dennis was actually leader. It was his band, not my band.
Well, this is really amazing. Harry had really wonderful things to say about you, and Harry's great in his own right. He's a
wonderful player. Mm-hmm. Wonderful player.
Mike Vax is on the phone. He'll be in Ocala on Monday with the Stan Kenton Alumni Band, and they will be playing at the Riley Arts Center, and the show starts at 7:30, and we looked it up. Tickets are $8 to $30.
Yeah, depending upon how close to the stage you get.
And Mike, just so you know how much of a fan Jim Penna is, not only is he here in the studio with us to talk to you, but the CD that I'm going to play, we have to take a little break. I'm going to play a little cut from the CD. Here it is right here. This CD, this is your CD, Road Scholars Live. The date on the Post-it note says from Jim Penna, January 10th, 2014. We've been waiting for you for 3 years.
And Jim is trying to get me to come to Florida for longer than that.
Hold on, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, partly sunny and very warm with a high of 85 near the coast, 91 inland. Partly cloudy Wednesday night, low 57 inland, 67 on the coast. Thursday, partly sunny and remaining very warm, high 84 on the coast, 90 inland. For Friday, clouds and sun, breezy and warm. A couple of showers and a thunderstorm are likely in the afternoon, the high 81 at the coast, 86 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. Do you have a gout-ridden toe or bowels that move too slow, creaky knees, or how about an asthmatic wheeze? Then acupuncture is sure to please. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566. That's 352-615-5566.
You're going to love your new windows and the immediate energy savings when you work with Renewal by Andersen. You'll experience legendary quality installation. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for a free in-home consultation with the pros. Right now, save $300 on every window and $850 on patio doors. No money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments for 12 months with approved credit. Visit renewalbyandersen.com. That's renewalbyandersen.com. But hurry, offer ends March 31st. License CGC 1524135.
All right, let's return. Mike Vax is on the phone. He's up in Jacksonville, I think he said, right? He's up in Jacksonville. And he's going to be in Ocala on Monday with the Stan Kenton Legacy Band performing at the Riley Arts Center. If you've never been to the Riley Arts Center, let me start there. This is the most beautiful theater that you have ever seen in Ocala. Okay,
Yes,
and in pretty much everywhere. We went to that one, the Phillips Theater up in Gainesville. That's a nice one,
Yeah,
too, right?
that's beautiful.
Now, Mike Vax said that Jim Penna, who's in the studio with us, has been bugging him to come to Florida for like 36 years or something. and so I want to tell you, Mike, that you are coming to an area that has a lot of fans of big band music. You have people living in an area called the Villages. Hopefully you know about it. On top of the world, we have a big retirement community here, plus a college community. So you got kind of both ends of the spectrum right here. And if you live in any of those areas, you got to spread the word. Mike is coming to town. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have this more than one night, one performance, right?
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Right. That's what you do.
7:30.
They can follow us. They can follow us around and come to other places. We'll be in Lakeland, and we'll be in Port Orange, and we'll be in Melbourne.
Yeah, but the problem is that
and we'll be at Disney Springs.
I know.
But this is the one chance to be right in Ocala.
Mike, I have to explain to you. They drive golf carts. They can't. They can't go. They can't go that far. All right, let me take a phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Mike Vax.
Yes, good morning. I had the privilege of attending a Stan Kenton concert back in the 60s at the Milwaukee Lakefront Art Festival. It was a free concert. It was 2 hours of the greatest music I ever heard. I had a chance to shake his hand afterwards. Are there any original people still with the band?
Well, when you say original, not from the very original band, because those people would all be around 100 years old. But half of my band all played with Stan Kenton when he was alive. Yes. So there's, I think, 11 of the 19 actually played with Stan when he was alive.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you for the call. And make sure you show up on Monday.
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you. That's kind of exciting. So hopefully you will endear yourself to our area and make more than one visit.
Well, I would love to. It's a challenge. We joke about it, but it's not really a joke. It seems like every year it gets harder to book these tours, and so we just keep it going as long as we can, and we see what happens. How I do it is we pick different areas of the country because we can only tour for a short time because the studio players can't be gone out of Los Angeles for too long. So our tours are usually 2 to maybe 3 weeks at the most. Well, this year we're going to in Florida. Next year we're going to be in the the Northeast. We'll be up, from, say, Washington, D.C. up into Maine. And then the following year we might be in the Midwest because that's the easiest place to book.
Oh, really?
But so maybe within the next few years we can get back down here. Once we've made this first trip in the inroads and people have heard the band, then get a little bit easier. And then, so who knows? Maybe we can get back down here within the next few years. Again, it's a money thing. If there's any like billionaires out there or something that love,
I think Jim's a billionaire.
Big band music, and they want to invest in my nonprofit, we could tour more. I mean, I would love to have this band out 2 or 3 times a year for 3 weeks.
That would be awesome.
But these tours cost about $100,000.
Wow.
When you figure the bus, the hotels, the airfares to fly everybody in from all over the country, paying the musicians.
Right.
These tours are expensive, and the only way that we're still doing it is through my nonprofit. If we didn't have the nonprofit, if we didn't have a place where people could donate money to help us do this band wouldn't be in existence.
So with that said, let me, before we run out of time, ask you to give a website so we can contact you and maybe actually do that.
It's very easy. It's bigbandjazz.net.
Wow. You got that one? Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you.
And on that website, there's an area where you can go to and you can click and you can donate, and it's a 501c3 nonprofit, and donations are deductible. That's how we stay on the road. The only way that we can do this,
and you can buy his CDs.
Donations. Yeah, but you know what? The CDs, a lot of that money goes into our scholarship fund.
Before we run out of time, Mike, I want to thank you for being on the air. I also want to tell you that the auditorium you're going to be playing in, the Riley Arts Center, was designed with the consultation of Maestro Matthew Wardell. He made sure that the place has great acoustics. I think you're going to really love the venue. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it seems like
of course it does.
I think you'll enjoy it. So let me leave with one of the pieces here. And thank you so much for being on the air with us. We will see you Monday night, Mike.
Great. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mike. All right.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for coming in. We'll be right back.
News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The countdown to a final Brexit split has begun.
There's no reason to pretend that this is a happy day, neither in Brussels nor in London.
EU Council President Donald Tusk, after receiving an official letter from Britain's top envoy to the EU. Some Republicans pushing back against the call for the chair of the House Intel Committee, Devin Nunes, to step aside in the Russia investigations.
Devin is the chairman of House Intel, whether they like it or not. What we need to start doing is focusing on the witnesses and accessing the documents and go find the facts for our fellow citizens. This really should not be a partisan investigation.
Congressman Trey Gowdy speaking to Fox News. Critics say that Nunes' visit to the White House grounds to look at classified documents undermines his credibility. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Sure, some surprises are cool. Parties. Gifts.
How did you know? I love it.
But at this point in life, your goal is to cut down on surprises. Between house, spouse, and job, you want to keep it simple. That's where Humana Dental comes in. Humana keeps it simple with plans starting at $17 a month. And anyone qualifies, regardless of age or pre-existing conditions. Humana. Simple? Yes. Surprises? No. Enroll today. Call 1-855-832-8331 for your free guide. Or go to signupforhumanadental.com. Again, plans start at just $17 a month and cover 2 cleanings and 2 checkups per year. Call 1-855-832-8331.
Insured by Humana Dental Insurance Company, Humana Insurance Company, The Dental Concern, Inc., Humana Insurance Company of New York, and Humana Health Benefit Plan of Louisiana, Inc. Waiting periods, limitations, and exclusions apply. Preventive Plus plans not available in Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Rates vary by state and are subject to change.
Today in Florida Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. With each generation, more and more people are removed from any involvement with agriculture. And that's why Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture, Adam Putnam, says those in the industry need to continue telling their story so consumers better understand it.
You know, we just always got to continue to tell our story. And as we, as a society, move further and further from the land, as we as a state become more urbanized, you know, roughly 80% of the population lives within 20 miles of the coast, and they may not have any idea of the productive bounty that's coming from the interior of the state, even in coastal counties like Palm Beach and Hillsborough and Miami-Dade. So, you know, the constant level of awareness has to be raised by our farmers and ranchers, and remind people that the same wonderful climate that makes us a destination for people to come to the beach and play golf in January and visit our state also makes us a competitive leader in agriculture.